I just got home from my first grocery shop with my new plastic-free mentality, and I ended up going to 3 different stores. Usually I go to 2 different stores. Normally I go to Walmart for just as many affordable options as I can, and then I usually have to supplement with like another grocery store just to get more like specialized products. Walmart's often out of things, they don't carry certain brands, but today I added Bulk Barn to the mix, and like Bulk Barn is changing my life. So I'll start with what I got from Walmart. And at Walmart, I spent $17.10. So I got bananas, I got 4 oranges, which, whoops, do have plastic stickers. So I was like tempted to just like peel them off and stick them onto the other oranges, but that's not what this is about. It's not about lying to myself. So I will peel these off and add them to my collection. I got some teriyaki sauce in a glass jar, 2 cans of coconut milk. I got some cilantro and I used my produce bag, and I ended up getting some spinach. So I am going to like trim this and wash it, and I'm gonna actually see if anybody has a clamshell in the recycling and reuse it. The other thing that I've learned about preserving greens and the cilantro is to put them in like an airtight container, whether it's like a Ziploc bag. I have some freezer Ziploc bags that I just like reuse and reuse and reuse. But airtight with either a paper towel or an actual towel, like a cloth, and you just dampen them and stick it in the bag, and it keeps things fresh. So that was my Walmart haul. And then I went to Thrifty Foods, which is like a local grocery store. I spent $17.64, and I got oat milk and soy coffee creamers. So these do have plastic, both of them. I don't know how to avoid that. And then I did end up going to the meat counter, and I got 2 different kinds of meat, and they are in the butcher paper, but it is shiny on the inside, which leads me to believe that they're lined with plastic. So again, just kind of choosing better options, not claiming perfection, but just better options. And then Bulk Barn. Now I am going to tell you the price at the end because I just want you to like take this in. So dried mango, I already ate some in the car ride home. This was full. Dried mango. This is puffed quinoa. This is for a recipe that I'm, granola bar recipe that I'm making. Big jar of white sugar. Peppercorns. Chocolate chips. Pecans. Dried cranberries. And my favorite item, peanut butter. What? Okay, so drum roll. All of that totaled $29.24. That's unreal. Like okay, so the peanut butter cost $5.57, like for scale. This is probably about the size you would get at the grocery store. This white sugar will last me forever because I really only use it sometimes. $1.48. The pecans and the mango were definitely the higher ticket items. These peppercorns were 82 cents. And yeah, like everything, I mean, everything was super affordable because it only came to $29. So that's the haul. The challenge I encountered is that I did want to buy crackers for this week, and I thought that maybe Ryvita, the brand Ryvita, would have an option, but they didn't have any gluten-free options. But what I do really like about Ryvita is that it's all just paper packaging. It's not like in a bag, it's just like wrapped in paper. So if you're not gluten-free, that's a really great option for a plastic-free choice. And I almost bought these little Riviera yogurts. They come in like a glass container with a foil lid, but I just didn't need them. I'm probably gonna make chia puddings, so I don't eat a ton of yogurt. If anything, I put it in smoothies, and I didn't think I needed these like expensive little jars. And I don't know, I just find those jars a little bit wasteful. So yeah, I would say this was a really successful shopping trip. I got everything on my list except for the crackers, and I was looking for rice syrup, which is like a random item that I've never bought before, but it's for a recipe, and I couldn't even find it at all. So I'm gonna need to continue looking. So that was it. Garden area, and I am trying to get a bit of an herb garden organized, and I thought that I would plant a couple of tomato plants as well. And I have seeds from last year, and for the most part I'm gonna add some cilantro and some mint, but I think most of my planting is done other than that. But I did need to buy a bit more potting soil, and I bought a mint starter and a cilantro starter, and so I did accumulate some plastic as a result. The pots are plastic, the little tags are plastic, and then the soil came in a plastic bag. So luckily I'm gonna reuse the pots right away for my tomato starts, and I've noticed that a lot of people put these pots out, for free on the side of the road. So I do find that, like, I'm not too concerned. I will use these, and I think that they are just reusable in general. The potting mix is in a soft plastic bag, so that is something that I will end up recycling on my own. So that has been my plastic consumption of the day, and I caught myself almost not buying these things, and I was in the store and then I left without them, and then I went back in, and I was having a bit of a moral dilemma. And there's sort of two things I'm considering. One is that this is the season, like this is the prime time to be planting, so it's not as though I can really put it off, and I'm just trying to be honest. And the other thing is that by growing my own veggies and herbs and things like that, I am moving towards a more sustainable way of living. So in theory, this will be eliminating future waste and future like consumption and relying on stores. So I am trying to remind myself that in the moment, yes, I'm purchasing plastic, but it is helping me move towards a more self-reliant and self-sufficient way of living. So there's the honest take on today. that I didn't cover when talking about soft plastic recycling is that Ziplocs are actually two different kinds of plastic. So what you want to do is you want to actually cut the Ziploc off, and these zippies would be considered the flexible plastic because they have that harder Ziploc, and then the actual bags are soft plastic. So I try to do this before I even put them in the bin because it just saves that step when there's a whole lot of plastic to go through all at once. I don't know that a lot of people know that. And I know that as humans, we like to choose the path of least resistance and often the easiest path. And that was really easy. And I believe in you. You can do it too. Morning, it's Friday, and I guess I've, without saying it, just been documenting my plastic-free week, and it's been very enlightening, and I am attempting to give myself as much grace through this process as possible. We are dealing with a world that is it doesn't make this type of thing easy or accessible in a lot of ways. And so it's not that I've just been like doing it wrong, is something I'm trying to remind myself. It's that the world is structured in a way that has really prioritized convenience and ease, and plastic falls all over that category. So I wanted to share two things. One is something that I'm like never gonna buy again. I'm like making a vow. And another is an item that I'm like, I didn't even realize I have, and I'm really excited about it. So I have been really trying to like stick to flossing. That's just like an aside. That's been a bit of a goal this year, is to floss daily. And I was just using up like all the floss that I had. I seem to have like all kinds of floss that I got from the dentist, and just, I don't even know, it just accumulated. So I was just using up the regular floss. And then when I ran out, I went for a convenience option, and I bought these little single-use flossers. And I'm sure you know what these look like, but they're the hard plastic flossers. And so I'm never going to buy these again for, I think, obvious reasons. Like there's like so much waste associated, but I'm also finding that they don't even floss as effectively as I would be just with the more manual floss. The one thing that I do really like is this like toothpick thing. It just like, it kind of massages my gums, and I really like that. But I'm almost certain that there's a reusable option that I could invest in if I wanted to. But I'm kind of in this awkward place of like, I'm not even halfway through the bag, and just to know that these will all end up in the landfill. You know, I had the curiosity of if I could like use tweezers or pliers and pull the actual floss out, if I could recycle these. It just doesn't, it's not easy. It's annoying. So I've just decided that I'm going to use these up, or am I? I don't know. I don't know what I've decided, but I know that I will never buy these again. The item that I forgot to show in my first video, and it's in the realm of like cosmetics and things like that, is this natural deodorant that I've been using. It's by Attitude, and it's their Super Leaves Science deodorant. And so it's a vegan natural deodorant, and this is cardboard. So you just you push it up, and Love the smell. It's got like a citrus smell. It's all natural ingredients, cruelty-free, vegan, and biodegradable. So, and right here at the top, you won't be able to read it, but this black band says plastic free. And the most amazing part is that I bought this at Walmart. So I don't associate Walmart with having, you know, the best selection of like eco-friendly, vegan, plastic-free options, but this was just in their deodorant section. It actually was the last one. I bought the last one they had in stock. So that is also a good sign to say that other people have figured this out and are buying it. And that is what will encourage Walmart to continue to stock it, is my wishful thinking, is my hopeful thinking. So yeah, this, if you see anything like this, I know there are other plastic-free deodorants that the ones I've seen the most are like the pots where you like dip, and I don't know, that to me just seems a little messy, and I was just really glad to find like an actual stick version. And in terms of effectiveness, I haven't been sweating. Well, that's not true. When I go for runs, I just know that I'm gonna sweat a lot. I'm not trying to like prevent sweating or smelling. Like, it's just like you're gonna have to have a shower when you're done. But for the day-to-day stuff, I don't find that I sweat very much, and this is working really well. So yes, this is a yes, I'm gonna continue. This is a no, I've learned my lesson, I'm never going back. So I'm just leaving Thrifty Foods, and I brought my containers in the event that their meat counter would let me use them, but they didn't. So just got things wrapped in paper again. Oh well. So it's Saturday evening, and I thought I would just give a bit of a wrap up for my first week of plastic-free May. Ultimately, I would say it's been a really good week where I do think I'm making some good changes. What I'm really becoming aware of is the fact that so it's relatively new for me to be shopping gluten-free and for the most part dairy-free. And so to add like the plastic-free aspect to my grocery shopping definitely feels a little bit complicated. I have visited Bulk Barn and the Zero Waste Emporium here in Victoria and had really successful shopping trips at both. Oh, I want to share one thing I have to grab. So I took a trip to the Zero Waste Emporium yesterday, and I had gone to Thrifty Foods first and tried to see like how much I could get at Thrifty's. And that's when I shared like they wouldn't use my reusable containers at the meat department. So I had these with me, and I went to the Zero Waste Emporium and I got more dried mango because I'm a fiend. And when I was at Thrifty's, I was looking for that coffee, the nabob in the cardboard container, and they weren't carrying it. They were like back to their foil lined bags. So that was interesting. I didn't ask why or anything like that, but when I was at the Zero Waste Emporium, they sell Fernwood Coffee, which is like a local coffee company, and this is their dark roast. So I do have a coffee grinder, and I just thought that was a pretty good alternative. I hadn't even really considered shopping for coffee in bulk. So I was really glad that I found that option. And then the last thing I bought were these Adriana's corn and flax corn chips. And the Zero Waste Emporium actually had like crackers and things like that, but I didn't see a gluten-free option. So the gluten-free and the plastic-free seem to be a bit tricky, but we're getting there. I am just getting into the habit of making my own things, and I showed those granola bars that I made. Those were really good. I was able to make my favorite banana loaf recipe with a gluten-free flour, so it's just early stages of trying to find those like comfort foods and those like gluten-free alternatives. And today, so Brian's here and we took a little trip downtown Victoria today. We just walked around and I wanted to show him the Zero Waste Emporium. I wanted to show him Bulk Barn, and we got to chatting with one of the women working at Zero Waste Emporium, and she's only like a part-time employee, but such a great conversation with her. She was super passionate and curious about, you know, what we're doing, and we were saying that, you know, we've been talking about like the idea of opening our own zero waste type store, and it's all just ideas and what ifs and maybes and curiosity at this point, but we just got into such a cool conversation, and she was sharing a lot of what they do, and I just wish people could like get excited about it the way that we were all getting excited about it in this conversation. And I do think it's about like me sharing this experience and just giving it a shot, like having, you know, maybe one single task that you're like, I'm gonna try to eliminate this one thing and just see how that feels, because I have a suspicion it's gonna feel really good. So I wanted to share with you the plastic I accumulated in this first week. Things I have excluded so far are just things that I'm still using. So things that are not included in this are the soy milk or the oat milk and the soy creamer. I'm still using those. And the potting soil I'm still using. So the things that are currently waste are in this jar. Fruit stickers. So these are all fruit stickers. These will go into my soft plastic recycling at the end of the month, but I'm just gonna keep them here for now. The tags from the mint and the cilantro, these are plastic and these will get recycled at the end of the month. I did go through one coffee creamer and bought a second one. So this is the tops of the carton. And then today was a bit of a fail, and it was just a good learning experience. So Brian and I were downtown and we went for ice cream, and I was really hyper fixated on getting like the gluten-free bowl. Like I was like, okay, I can't get the cone, so I'm gonna get the bowl. And that was just where my mind was at. I was like in the gluten-free mindset. And then when she passed me the bowl, it had a plastic spoon. So Brian and I both had bowls, and so we both had a plastic spoon. And so that was a good little moment. So those are going in the jar. But while we were downtown, so here, let me back up. So I created this like car kit where I had the shopping bags and a coffee cup and my bamboo utensils, and those are in my car. Today we were walking. So the only bag I had a little book bag, but the only bag I brought with me was my little fanny. And so I'm not carrying around my bamboo utensils in here. So while we were downtown, I went and bought this guy, which will stay in my fanny pack. And yeah, just doing my best, right? So this isn't, I'm not making an effort to be perfect. I never will be, certainly not in my first week of trying something new. But it was great to see how quickly my awareness kind of like came alive, and I was like, shit, plastic. And the gluten-free and the plastic, those two worlds are just sort of still coming together. But all in all, I'm feeling like this is a pretty small amount of plastic for 1 week. And I'm already like learning, okay, not gonna do that again. And I already found a solution. So yeah, it's cool. It's great. Brian and I are going on a little bit of a road trip up island tomorrow. So it'll be curious to see like what that looks like when we're on the road. I'm gonna make sure that we pack our coffee mugs and our water bottles and some snacks. We'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. I'm hoping to do a video a week. So this wraps up week 1, plastic-free May. And if you took anything away from this video, I would super appreciate a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you next week. Bye.